going on, people? It's your boy Bailey London, and yeah, it's not Bailey London today. It's just me, Kyra, because Bailey's off completing a side mission, little side quest, and doing some scuba diving on another island. I put it out on the Instagram. I said, what would you guys prefer? Would you prefer that we skipped a week? Would you prefer that I did a little solo short episode, or we did some like kind of throwback behind the scenes? And you guys voted for a short solo episode for me, but I will try and not keep you too long, because I always think podcasts with just one person is a bit strange, because it's like I've got no one to bounce off with. But I'm just gonna be chatting to you guys. I'm just gonna be chatting, and I'm good at that, so I'm sure I can do that. I'm just gonna talk to you as if you're my mates, which some of you are. I did already try to record this yesterday, and it recorded parts of it and didn't record other parts of it, and then something was blurry, and then you couldn't hear this, and I was like, damn, like I do need Bailey in terms of setting up. And I'm sure I've set this up and I'm looking completely orangey yellow like a Simpson from these lights above, but this is the best I could do. So I do apologize in advance if there are technical difficulties. If this don't work, I ain't doing it a third time. Do you know what I mean? I tried. I don't get paid for this yet. Unless you guys want to sponsor us, which, by the way, hit us up at chatabox.contact at gmail.com. If you have any dilemmas, any questions, any like topics you want us to discuss, like things that are going on, then please do send them that way. And if you've got any secrets, like things that you will say to your friends, look, don't tell anyone, but then send them into us, because we're not going to tell anyone. Well, we're going to tell everyone, but we won't tell them who it is. So you get that feeling of releasing a secret, but you don't actually have to tell anyone the secret properly, because it'll be anonymous. So yeah, send those through. And while I'm asking for like things for you guys to do, please make sure that you like, you comment, you subscribe. And if you hate me, because some of you lot hate watch me, I'm sure you do, put it in the comments. I really don't give a fuck. Today is my day. I've been relinquished. I'm here, free. Yeah, I'm gonna answer some questions that people sent through for me to answer. Thank you to those people on the Instagram that sent through questions. I will answer them today. And I'm also it's my chance to troll the trolls, you know? So I'm going to go back and look at some of those comments and troll you motherfuckers back. And then I'm also going to finish off in normal fashion with a recommend do, maybe even a recommend don't. And yeah, that's what I'm going to go with today. So let's get going. Let's get into some of these questions. Should we delve in juicy to start with? Where should we start? Who said I love you first? Good question. So it was me that said I love you first, but it was an accident. I kind of did it like on the phone. So I, you know, when you're just like ending a call and we've been talking, and I was like, okay, love you, bye. And then I put down the phone and I was like, oh my God, how embarrassing. So I don't know if that really counts, but technically I said it first. And then I think in a meaningful way, Bailey said it later. And in an intimate moment, deep question. I love it. You know, I like a bit of depth. What would Kyra tell her younger self about life that would have made a difference to her life now? So good question. I think I'm still figuring it out, so it's hard for me to kind of advise my younger self. But one thing I've realized is that I spent so much time, particularly in my childhood, my teen years, to be honest, my whole life into my 20s as well, living in so much fear and so much like, oh my God, someone's going to judge me for that, or like feeling like I had to be perfect to be valued. And it stopped me making risks, taking risks. It stopped me making mistakes to learn from, and kept me saying no to things. And I think I would say to younger me that not everything is as scary as you think it is. And that even if you mess up and things go wrong and things do get scary, that like you'll be all right. Like there's just fear that has lingered in me, fear and shame. And you know, I've been doing therapy and I'm doing lots of writing about my younger self at the moment, which I'm finding quite cathartic. But yeah, I think my advice would be don't live in fear and just fucking go for it, because you only get one life, and if you don't, you end up wasting a lot of it. Yeah. All right, next question. Okay, what is your secret to a happy relationship? Oh, there's a fly. What is my secret to a happy relationship? Now, I don't know. Like, I don't want to put this. I don't want to spend this podcast sitting here thinking like I'm some sort of relationship advisor, or that we by any means have a perfect relationship, because we do not. And I can understand that there's this kind of like two different views from the people that watch us as a relationship. Some people think that, you know, I don't know, I'm toxic and Bailey's annoying. And what is this fly? I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like a tiny little fly. People have this opinion that we are, like I'm really toxic and he's really unhappy and we just squabble on camera and blah, blah, blah. So some people have that opinion. And then other people have this opinion that we have this perfect relationship where we spend a lot of time laughing and we do everything together, from podcasting to working together to jiu-jitsu to living and traveling together, and that everything is perfect and they wish that they had more of what we had. So it's like, they're the two extremes that I think people have an opinion about us on. And I think actually we're somewhere in the middle. We can be toxic and be really like annoying towards each other and not always have the best times, but then we also have the best times ever, and we do a lot for each other and we feed into each other in the way that it just works, like being different and complementing and contrasting each other. Yeah, it's hard, because when you say what's the key to a happy relationship, I'm like, I don't know, I'm still trying to work it out, you know. And I think that, to me, that is the key. I think the key is staying curious about people, the person that you're with. It's okay to be comfortable, but are you curious about them as a person? Are you curious about their development? Are you curious about your own development and how that affects the relationship? You know, like, the person that Bailey is today is not the person that I met, oh my God, 8 years ago now. And I'm not the person that he met 8 years ago now. You know, I was like in my early 20s. And what's beautiful is that I'm still learning things about him today. And I think he's still learning things about me today. And we're both remaining open to learn those things about each other. Like, I'm so curious about this new stage that Bailey's in, you know, like seeing him travel with me has been amazing. I'm so curious as to what he's going to be like as a dad. What's he going to be like during the pregnancy? What's he going to be like when that kid is, you know, becoming a teenager and rebelling a bit? Like, what's he going to be like when he is a black belt? And is he still going to be doing jits? You know, like, I'm curious to see how he develops and changes in that time and how our relationship develops. And I hope he sees that in me as well. I don't know if this is the best advice, but I just think expecting to keep falling in love with the person again and again, because they're not going to remain the same person. Like, our literal cells in our body change every 7 years. Like, I'm literally physically, factually not the same body or person I was when we first met, you know? And that's just biology. We're not even talking about life experience and brain development and age and societal development. So why are we expecting that person to stay the same? And if you love them, if you love their core beliefs and the essence of them, then everything else that changes around it, you're just learning again about, and you have to remain curious. So yeah, that's my advice. Take it or leave it. But it's fucking hard. Like, long-term relationships are not easy. Okay, that was quite a long one, so I'll try and be a bit quicker with the next ones. I've had a few questions that are similar to that, you know, about secret to your relationship, key to a long relationship, what's the secret to you guys' happiness. So I've had quite a few like that, so hopefully that covers that. But one that did make me laugh is someone that put, how do you keep your chill when Bailey is being Bailey and clearly poking a nerve? I need tips. Babes, I don't, is the answer. I don't keep my chill. Have you not watched any of the podcasts? I find it very hard to keep my chill. And it's something I want to work on, because sometimes he is poking a nerve and he's trying to piss me off. And other times I think because that happens, I then get more pissed off even when he's not doing it. And I need to be better at that. Something I read, or maybe I heard it on a podcast recently, I can't remember, but it was about assuming that your partner has good intentions. So yeah, trying to remember that they do have good intentions and that they love you does kind of help you not to be so annoyed at them. But bruv, I'm not good at it. I'm not going to lie. It's a work in progress question for me. How are you finding the move from I am Manosha? How am I finding the move? Yeah, good. We love being in the sun. You can't see it in this yellowy light, but I'm actually tanned and I am consistently grey in the UK. So definitely I've enjoyed the sun. It's been such an adventure together, ups and downs, and learning new things. So I'm definitely enjoying the move. One thing I would say though is that I'm struggling to find community. Like, I miss my gym. I miss all the people at my gym and the community I had there. Even some of my friends that I wouldn't see all the time in the UK, I miss them so much. But that's been my downside to the move is, like a lack of community and support. And I'm usually a loner anyway, but it's like I want the choice. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? Standard, brilliant question. Thank you, Marisha. So if I could have any superpower, I'm going to have to be basic. I'm just going to have to be basic because there's loads of things I could probably say which would be a bit more imaginative and exciting. But to me, the most usable and efficient and useful superpower is teleportation. Like, I'm in the Maldives. I'm back home at London. I'm at work. I'm at training. Like, cutting out travel time. But I know it's not the most exciting, but cutting out travel time, insanely amazing. Like, or I've been put in prison. No, I haven't. What? Like, that's insane. Like, that is amazing. I've always said teleportation. And obviously, like, there's some other bangers out there, like, you know, invisibility. What's the one? Is it telekinesis? Something like that, where you can, like the Matilda thing, where you can just get stuff. Is that the right thing? Those things are sick as well. But I just think, like, practically, I want to be able to teleport. Do you know what I mean? I definitely don't want to be reading people's minds. Do you know what I mean? Definitely don't need to do that. But teleporting would be the one. When are we coming home? The answer is I don't know. All right? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on day to day at the moment, but I don't know. So that's the end of the questions, or the ones I found interesting anyway. What I want to do is look at the comments, because I'm going to troll you motherfuckers back. Although they're not quite as salacious, but you know. So first of all, big up Bradski, because he always comments. He's so loyal. He always does several comments, and I love that. So big up you. Someone on here, King9GG, is saying, I can't lie, you can't introduce Word of the Week without that tune. I'm in stitches. I'm glad you liked it because I cannot sing. And big up everyone that put if you know, you know. That means that you're proper. You're a real one. You listened all the way to the ends and you got the secret one. I'm actually not going to talk. I'm going to blue balls you guys a little bit longer. I'm not going to talk about the scam today because I think it's a story best told with Reese here as well. Or maybe I should. How long have we been filming for? Hold on. Nah. I'll leave it. I'm going to leave it until... This is what I mean. I'm just going to keep blue balls and you come back next week and I'll fully talk about the scam. So yeah, someone put on here, it's about that time person, whatever the numbers are at the end. Lol, Bailey proving his point and Kyria getting aggy and offended is hilarious. Boy, she's stubborn. I think next episode you need to not let what Bailey says get to you. So, to begin with, it's not how you spell my fucking name. Look, I don't really care. But you know when you're just like, it doesn't even look like it says, doesn't even look like it says what it sounds like. So what are you doing? But I'm just going to go by the fact that you were laughing so much that you forgot how to spell. It's all good. It's fine. Or to capitalise my name. But, you know, that's the teacher in me. But you know what? I'm going to say in response to that, I agree. I am stubborn. And like I said earlier, I do need to sometimes not let him get to me, or at least remember that his intentions are good, because I can know that sometimes it can come across very stubborn, very whingy, and it's actually not a massively true reflection of our overall relationship. Like, we do bicker and we do argue and we're both contentious like that, but yeah, I actually agree with you. D-Star, the deep voice ladyboy comment, I know it's rude. But I have got a deep voice. What can I say? What do you want me to do? Put on a high voice? Put a voice changer on these episodes? This is me, innit? Like, this is it. Somebody did also send a question about what was the operation I had that has given me the scar on my neck and also has affected my voice. So I had a full thyroidectomy about 2 years ago now, and they cut open my neck and removed my thyroid. And because my thyroid is very close to my vocal cords, they like nicked it on the way in, which meant that I lost a part of my higher register in my voice. So it's actually medical. So those that are taking the piss, yeah, taking the piss out of a disabled woman right now. So just know yourself. Happy Sunday from Dwayne 3007. Like, I love that. What a nice comment. Happy Sunday to you, if this is Sunday for you, Dwayne. Happy week to you. Happy June. Okay, so Nuisance 1003. This is what I wanted to get into because I did see this in advance. Their comment says, what happened, bro? Is this happy wife, happy life? Crazy work? Bro, you look unrecognizable. You don't look happy. And my response to that is, your username is right. You are a nuisance. What are you trying to say? What are you? I don't get what you're trying to say. You think I'm making him unhappy? I presume you don't actually know Bailey, so bit weird. And he does look unrecognizable, but that's due to the haircut and not due to me. Dreads put, I see so much of me and my boyfriend in you guys. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we like that. We know that a lot of couples watch our podcast and then argue like we do, and that's kind of a USP to us. We were like wary of becoming a couples podcast, but actually I think that's kind of a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up with some recommendations, recommend-do's and recommend-don'ts, because that's how we usually do this. And just because Bailey's not here doesn't mean that I'm going to go completely off on a tangent. So I'm going to keep some things recognizable to you. And to be honest, I've chosen these recommendations because I think they're really important. Not that I feel I have to prove myself in any way, but also to show you that I'm ingesting content that isn't just in relation or in alignment with my feminazi standpoint, and actually is progressive and things that I think is useful for people to know. And you know what? Bailey isn't here this week, so it means that I get to suggest whatever I want, and I'm going to suggest some podcasts and some books. So the fellow nerds out there, I hope you enjoy this segment. This is for you. And I hope that once I've recommended the 3 things that are my recommend-do's for this week, I hope you'll understand the reason I chose these ones and why I think they're so important. So my first recommend-do number one is going to be a podcast. It's not that new, but it's been created by Tortoise Media, and I'm only just getting around to listening to it now. Trigger warning, it is associated and surrounding sexual abuse. So if that does trigger you, forwards this section a couple of minutes, and maybe don't ingest it unless you're ready to. The podcast is surrounding a story about a 27-year-old teacher who is sleeping with or having a relationship with a 14-year-old, which I hope that when you hear that, you go, fucking hell, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm quite shocked by that. But does it change your opinion when I say that teacher was female and that the 14-year-old child in question was male? Does that change your perspective? Because if it does and you're not as shocked, then you're part of a massive problem. And I urge you to listen to this podcast to hopefully change your opinion on that. Because we know that the statistics are that there are a lot more male abusers, at least reported out there. But I think it's so shocking to see how little abuse is taken seriously when it's an older female perpetrator and a younger male. And that's why this podcast is called Lucky Boy, because a lot of the guys that are interviewed who were schoolmates, you know, this happened in the 80s, so they're being interviewed decades later, and they're like, I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see what the big deal is. He wanted it. He enjoyed it. And it's like, just because there's not this maybe physical power imbalance, why are we not there supporting and protecting our young men? And how often does it go unsaid? And does it go unsaid because they are not taught that they are able to be victims of grooming, manipulation, sexual exploitation? Or does it go unsaid because they're too scared to tell anyone that they feel victims of it because they'll just be seen as a lucky boy? Why do these things happen? And I just think it was really sad to see the teachers, and because it happened I'm not just being salacious, it happened in a male school, so all of the male friends and classmates to completely deny his experience, or to say, yeah, it did happen, but what's the big deal? So yeah, I urge you to listen to that podcast, challenge your perspectives. Second, recommend do, I'm not getting any lighter, they're all deep, is a book this week. Again, not a new book, one I read a good couple of months ago now. In fact, I think I read it last year, but one that's really stuck with me and one that I loved. It is a book called, let me get this right, Avoidance, Drugs, Heartbreak and Dogs, which if acronymed would stand for ADHD. And it is written by Jordan Stevens, who, if you don't know already, is one half of RECCOMENDOOOOOSS, you know, down with the trumpets and all that. But separate from just that, as a musician, he is a phenomenal writer and a social commentator, I would say, within the last year. And as a man in the public sphere, I have so much respect for the work he's doing around talking about masculinity and what it means to be a man. And this book was a perfect representation of that. It was talking about heartbreak and cheating from a male perspective. It was a book about self-discovery, his relationships with people. And I just thought, I usually read a lot of female-focused, female-written, female-led books. And I just thought it was a fantastically written book. And it's so good if you're not into reading. It's a good book to get into because the sentences are so short and sharp, and it's very pacey. And it leads me into my third recommend-do for the week. And my third recommend-do is on Substack, new platform or new-ish platform if you haven't yet seen it. And the reason that it segues quite nicely into that is because I follow Jordan Stevens on Substack. But that's not my recommend-do. My recommend-do is going and following my Substack. Yeah, I'm just going to shamelessly plug because I'm here and there's no one to tell me off. No one can tell me what to do. Yeah. So I'm going to shamelessly plug my Substack. And Chris, one of our supporters, he urged me to do this. So thank you, because I probably wouldn't have done it if you hadn't. But yes, go and find me on Substack and follow and subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get all of my newsletters and writings directly to your inbox. And it's for free. If you want to pay, there is a paid option, but you know, no stress, but it is for free, and you just get all of my writings, all of the deep inner thoughts. And to find this, you can go onto my Instagram, which is b.memo.brown, b.memo.brown, and that's on Instagram, and you'll find my Substack link in the bio. If not, I think my Substack page is called Typing to, like the number, Untangle. Typing to Untangle. I think that's quite good. And yeah, it's super personal. If you like when I get kind of deep and thinking about stuff, then that's where you can find more content like that. I'm talking a lot about my childhood, talking a lot about, like returning back to myself. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's about to get deep. I don't know if I'm any good. I don't know, but that's not what I'm doing it for. I'm not doing it to make money. I'm not doing it to be good. It's like the one thing in my life I'm just doing to kind of be expressive. And I would really appreciate your support. So that's my third recommend-do. I'm recommending myself. Yeah. Oh my God, I've been talking for ages. I was going to try and keep this at a short 20, but look, we're over half an hour point. So I think I've done quite well. Please, I'm praying everything is filmed. If you've enjoyed this episode, I know it's much better when I've got someone to bounce off with Bailey. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please do like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that shit. And yeah, what's your favourite superpower? What do you think is the key to a happy relationship? Engage with me in the comments. It's usually me that gets back to you guys. So let me know what you guys think. And I think that's everything. Stop warbling on now. Yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye. Love your gang.